The struggles of being a trading guru, specifically my struggles. Now, first, I'm happy with my life and I love my life and I love what I do. I've had the amazing opportunity for the past 5 years to have helped hundreds of thousands of people at least get introduced to trading and learn trading, and to intimately have helped at least tens of thousands of people learn trading. It has been amazing and it's been so much fun. But like everything in life, somebody's always going to bitch about something. And like anyone in life, I have a few things to bitch about when it comes to being a trading guru. This video is in no way meant to be like a pity party or for me to say that it sucks, because I love doing it and I think the pros vastly outweigh the cons. However, I just thought I'd share candidly some of the shit that I have to go through being somebody on the internet who teaches trading, who has followings of like upwards of hundreds of thousands of people across all different platforms, because it gets to be a lot sometimes. So I'm gonna be candid and off the cuff in this video, and I don't have this planned or structured like some of my other videos. This is just kind of off the cuff, and I'm just kind of winging this one just to speak how I feel. So the first thing is that you have to understand, if you're going to be a guru who teaches trading, you're going to get criticized, right or wrong, good or bad, this or that, no matter what you do. You can do literally anything and someone will criticize you for it. And it's really funny. I used to struggle with this so much the first 2 years where I was like teaching. People who are maybe like ignorant and don't fully understand all the different moving parts will criticize something that, had they known a little bit more about you or the way that you traded or a little bit more about the context of trading in general, they would have like not asked the question or not said that stupid remark. But then you're stuck seeing it over and over and over again, the same shit. Like people said, like for instance, with me, like hedging, some people just legitimately are ignorant and they don't know that you can enter a buy and a sell at the same time on the chart, right? And so people will sometimes say, Nick, how are you hedging? You're not able to hedge. Your broker, if you're in a buy and you enter a sell, your broker will just close the position. It's like, I don't understand. And they don't take like 2 seconds to Google it, figure it out. And then a bunch of other random shit. Like, for example, like I have Tourette syndrome. I have multiple motor tics that have gone on for years, that I meet the definition of somebody who has Tourette syndrome. And so I squint my eyes a lot in my videos. Sometimes I'll make like noises in the back of my throat when I'm talking. I'll be like this. I'll be like, like if you go watch some of my videos, you can see like I have a lot of like nervous tics. I struggle with a lot of anxiety disorders, and I'm somehow still able to do this. So I guess it's not that big of a deal, but it is something that still fucking occurs to me, and it's been going on for years. Go and watch my videos over the past few years, and so people will criticize that. Some other shit, people will accuse you of being flip-floppers. So for example, inconsistency in what you say. There's times where I've said one thing, and then other times where I've said another, and then times where I've went back to saying one thing and then another. And there's two components to this. Number one is the fact that humans change their minds sometimes. Actually, very often. People who are right a lot typically change their mind a lot because they continue to analyze new data and they seek to disconfirm their most deeply held beliefs. If you're constantly criticizing your own beliefs in an attempt to become a better person, fuck yeah, you're going to end up changing your mind pretty regularly about stuff as you continue to learn more about the world. And anybody who thinks that you can just stick to your guns, black and white, and stay the exact same your whole life, I think you're massively underestimating the complexity of the world you live in. And I stole this from Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos said this, and I found this out in 2020. And I've taken that tenet and applied it to my life and become a better person because of it. But people on the outside looking in who think that everything has to be rigidly black and white, it's hard because like they see, oh, you said one thing here, but then you said another thing here. You're inconsistent. You suck. You're a horrible person. You're a scam, blah, 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 blah. And it just gets kind of frustrating. That's the first component, is the fact that people will change their mind as you learn new things. The second thing is that the dynamic nature of reality is not black and white. It is gray. Everything is fluid. Everything's constantly changing. And there will be different approaches and different mental frameworks that work in different things. For example, there are some trades where if I'm getting into a trade and I would normally hedge, like if price breaks the support resistance zone, where in some cases I won't hedge, but instead I'll just hold my original position. And then if the next zone is pretty close, then I'll typically add a trade at the next zone. But then there's some cases where if it breaks the zone, I'll close at a loss. And there's some cases where if it breaks the zone, I'll hedge. And there's some cases where if price breaks the zone, I'll flip. If I'm in one standard lot sell at resistance and it breaks the resistance, sometimes I'll enter a 2 standard lot buy if I think it's going to go up. And then I'll close the basket of trades once it gets into profit. There's just multiple ways to do shit. And for people coming into trading, they think that trading, and maybe I'm at a little bit of fault here for making it look like, oh, everything is just 100% consistent. You always do this in this case. It's extremely simple, but you still got to get the skills over time. Like my trading approach is ridiculously simple. It's just support and resistance levels, and I try to catch the bounces that support resistance zones. If I'm right, which I am half the time, it's a nice profit. If I'm wrong, which price breaks the other side of the zone 50% of the time, then I just manage the trade. I use hedging. Sometimes I'll use stop losses. Sometimes I'll use dollar cost averaging. Sometimes I'll use flipping. There's multiple different ways, and there's different ways to manage stuff based on the context. People coming in don't fucking understand that oftentimes, and they're just really ignorant, and it's not their fault because they're new and they don't take the time to learn. Maybe some people aren't smart enough to like grasp it. I'm sure that somebody fucking understands me here, right? It's just like some people just don't get it. Like they don't understand, like, okay, in certain cases it's better to use this type of approach to trading. In other cases right here where price, I want to sell at a resistance zone, but price gets to the resistance zone and there's huge bullish candles stampeding up to the resistance zone, it might be a better idea to just not enter into a sell right away. It might be better to wait for rejection. And so in some cases, price will get to a resistance zone, and people know that most of the time I'll just enter immediately when it gets there. But sometimes if there's a lot of momentum coming into the zone, I'll hesitate and I'll say, let's wait for a little bit of rejection first. I'll have people call me out and say, wait, I thought that you said you enter immediately when price gets to a zone. And I have to be like, well, typically, yeah, but sometimes not the case. And they're like, well, see, now you're inconsistent, Nick, because you said one thing, but now you're doing another. And then you're going back and forth and blah, 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 and all this shit. I think it's just people just failing to understand the dynamic nature of trading decision. There are a lot of subtleties, nuances, and subjective, discretionary, intuitive-based decisions that people can make in their trading careers as they continue to accumulate experience. I have over 7 years of trading experience, March, April, May, June. So I have 7 years and 3 months of trading experience, and roughly 5 of those years have been profitable. It's like I've seen this shit happen over and over. I've seen the same stuff on the charts happen over and over for years. I know what works and what doesn't, and I know what works long-term and what typically doesn't work good long-term. I'm not profitable every day or every week or sometimes every month, but I am profitable long-term, and I know that my skill set and my intuition helps me and assists me in making better trading decisions. If you've ever went to the charts and tried to execute a rigidly black and white system, and you've tried to see how well it worked out for you, oftentimes it just doesn't perform anywhere near as well as if you were to use a little bit of your accumulated applied experience in trading to help you say, you know what, this system says I should maybe sell at this resistance zone right here, or buy at the moving average, the 50 EMA, whatever the hell your system is. Everything works in the right context. Well, people may say, normally my system says I should do this. However, in this specific instance, I don't feel like that's the best decision. Like, it's okay to exercise that intuition. Even though your trading system aligns perfectly, it's okay to say, all right, I have enough experience seeing this happen over and over, and for some reason in this specific case, I feel like this is not going to work out. And so you exercise that intuition, and as a guru online, you get criticized for it because people are like, how am I supposed to follow that? How am I supposed to learn? My two biggest responses are, like when people ask me a question, is number one, well, it depends on the context. Like if someone's like, Nick, would you add a sell right there if price breaks the zone and goes to the next one? My answer always has to be like affirmatively, like, yes, it depends on the context though. Or that's the first thing. The second thing is like, what the fuck is the second thing? There was like a second thing here. The second thing is that, so one, it depends on the context. Number two, oh yeah, this one is, it depends on your experience. So it's like, I will tell people you have to get enough experience seeing the same stuff over and over. And after you get experience for a couple weeks, couple months, seeing the same thing over and over again, you'll kind of get a feel, or at least begin to get a feel for how things work. One thing that's important to note is that even though I say it like in almost every single one of my fucking YouTube videos, most people lose money trading. Trading is hard. Most people are not going to make any money. Depending on what statistics you look at, Forex.com reports 70% of their clients lose money. So the other 30% make money. So you have a 1/3 chance of being profitable, apparently, with Forex.com based on the regulatory filings. Other metrics might say it's like an 80-20 split or like a 90-10 split. But even if it's like 10% of people, if we go with the worst metrics, roughly 10% of people get profitable. That's 1 in 10. Think about most of your people that you know, like your friends and family, that would try to go and learn trading, and ask yourself how many of them you think would be likely to succeed. And if we take any other comparable field, the people operate at a high level, such as being an engineer or a very experienced attorney or a doctor, a physician, something like that, how many fucking people do you think are actually going to succeed? Go through all the education, pass all the requirements, get to get like consistent and how would you say it, proficient in the field they work in. How many fucking people do you know are actually going to do anything at that kind of a high level? Trading is no different. It's not this thing that you could just fucking come to the charts and jack off every day and barely do anything and just make fuck tons of money. It requires you to get some experience. And after you get the experience, you learn the basics. The basics are simple. People can learn that in a day. But after you get more experiencing it over and over, learning where to apply certain concepts and where to not apply certain concepts and what to do in certain situations, you end up get better over time. And then it becomes something where, okay, you can wake up, jack off 5 times a day and still trade profitably, barely doing anything. Yes, that can happen eventually. If I didn't run a coaching company like Mission FX, I'd probably be on the charts like less than an hour per day, probably. Like, I don't know exactly. And watch, someone will call me out in a previous video. I've probably said something. You could be on the charts 30 minutes a day, or you could be on the charts 2 hours a day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. It just all depends. I think the biggest takeaway here in terms of consistency is that it really just fucking depends. Everything depends on everything. Like, think about the world we live in, right? People ask, what's your win rate, Nick, on average? I just started telling people 50-50. It's a little bit higher than 50-50 most weeks, not every week. Some weeks it fucking sucks. But overall, I just tell people it's 50-50. Why? Because that's just random chance. And you don't even need anything better than random chance to make money trading, provided you have a good risk structure and you can manage things in a contextually appropriate way if you have a loser. The only reason for risk management in the first place is for losers. If you know your average consecutive losing streak and you have a simple system you can like predictably duplicate over and over, and if you just have a 50% win rate, you could still fucking make money trading. Like, that's just the objective truth if you look at the actual metrics and statistics. And so with that being said, it's hard to come in and teach someone who doesn't get that everything is dynamic and everything kind of depends on stuff and that they just have to get some experience seeing this stuff over and over. A lot of people just don't get it, and I understand. Like I said, a lot of people, you imagine most people, like you try to think of most of your friends or family being a doctor, right? We can imagine some like dumb fucking people trying to be doctors and how scary that would be if you went to a doctor that was one of your friends and family. I have plenty of friends and family that I'm great friends with, but they probably wouldn't make a great attorney or a doctor or, whatever the fuck, a trader, professional Forex trader. They probably couldn't run a company like Amazon.com. Like, imagine Jeff Bezos. Do you think he's a fucking dumbass? You think if he was a dumbass, he'd be able to run Amazon.com? I know he stepped down as CEO like 2 years ago, but still, you get the point. To do something like trading, it requires a high level of skill. Now, I don't consider myself to be that smart, but I'm fucking smart enough to at least do this shit to where it's going to work. And I've demonstrated that time and time again. I've had a free Telegram channel where I've shared all my trades for like 5 years just for free. I've shared my analysis, and it's the first link in the description of this video if you want to check it out. But even with that, I can literally hand someone all the keys to the kingdom. I don't hold anything in my paid courses that I don't already teach for free on my YouTube channel. The courses just kind of help people with the implementation, with like support from my coaching team and me, having a group chat community, being able to ask me questions. That's all there. But the actual information in my courses, it's like structured all nice and tidy. That way it's easy to learn. But it's nothing new. Like I literally teach everything. There's not much to teach on my YouTube videos and my Telegram channel. A lot of you'll see my videos for the past year. I've run out of shit to talk about because it's just the same shit over and over. All right, guys, price gets to a support, so we bought. It broke the support level, so we got hedged. Then it came to the next support, so we closed the sell, hedge, and profit, and we added a buy. Then it bounced, so we made profit. Slow clap. It's just the same shit, right? So it's like I sometimes run out of shit to talk about, and I just talk about the same thing over and over again, and then change the title and thumbnail to something slightly different because, it's like the way the YouTube algorithm works is you have to get people to click on a video, and you have to get people to stay watching the video. And then it has to be engaging. It's all this shit. It's so fucking mundane. Like, to me, like think about like me sitting here thinking, okay, how can I help more people? And how can I make more money? And how can I use that money to then pay my team that works for my company and then help my clients and give them value so they can make money trading and then allow the IRS to take like roughly fucking half of everything I make in taxes. Like, the world becomes a better place if I get more clients for my company. It's a win-win-win for everyone involved. Myself, my team, my clients, the IRS. Hopefully the government uses my tax money to help other people who are less fortunate than me with things like housing and food and education. But who the fuck knows how the government spends my money. But anyway, I do all this shit. So the world's objectively a better place if I get more clients in Mission FX. But to get more clients, you have to do shit to like attract an audience, give them value, and then get them to buy. And so it's like, you know, I sit here, imagine me sitting here on a Saturday in front of my computer thinking, how can I make a video that's going to attract people to click it and then keep people watching it and then still give them value? And then, you know, even though I've already done this shit like over and over again, I don't want to make random stupid videos about shit like that. You know, I've done a few before to experiment with them, but like I want to make stuff that's actually valuable, that actually helps people. But if I'm being real, if I'm being 100% real, the most valuable videos with the most in-depth, high-level content, the view counts fucking suck. It does not attract an audience. People have asked me questions about brokers for years, and I've never made a video that goes like into any level of depth about brokerages. I don't know why. I just never got around to it, I guess, or it never dawned on me to make a video about that. I finally make a video, this is a couple of days ago, about brokers. You can, if you're watching this video like a year or two from now or whenever, you just go to my channel, type in like Nick Sean Forex brokers. Just type in that, you'll see it up. It's a pretty short video. It's like it's like 24 minutes long, I think. But like, that's still relatively short. And I cover pretty much all the basics for what everyone would need to get, like, to understand how Forex brokers work and some of the things they'll need to know. Super basic, high level overview, right? That video was one of the worst performing videos out of the last 10 videos I've made. I think it was like 9 out of 10. It got the shittiest view count, the shittiest click-through rate, but it got an amazing watch time. So people who are clicking on that video and staying, they're watching it. They're watching the video and it's helping them. However, it's not extending the reach of that video to a larger audience. So what do I have to do? I have to like jump up and down like a chimpanzee sometimes and like howl and beat my chest and make a bunch of jokes and, you know, be really engaging. Y'all, in real life, I'm a fucking introvert. I'm like a situational introvert. I can be an extrovert around like family and friends that I'm like close with, but in most cases, I'm just some chill, bald dude from Texas. I enjoy walking my dog and drinking my coffee in the morning with my girlfriend and playing like RTS video games on my computer. I'm just a chill dude. Like, I'm not normally this person who's fucking outrageously like energetic with all this charisma and cracking all these jokes and stuff. I do it. Well, I mean, I can be that way in certain situations, but just in general, I'm typically not that way. I'm kind of an introvert. I like a lot of time to myself. I don't like being around a bunch of people in public. It overwhelms my senses and it triggers like my anxiety disorders and causes me to get overwhelmed. It fucking sucks. It's just hard for me. But in order to serve more people and in order to help the world become a better place, like in terms of trading and then all the fucking tax money I pay and clients that I could help, I have to do shit to make videos that gets views and gets people to click and like allows the algorithm to like bring more people to my channel so they can find out about me and trading and keeping things simple and completely just simplifying the fuck out of everything they're doing to make trading easier for them. In order to do that, I have to make videos that people click. And so that's one of the things that you are likely to struggle with as a trading guru, is trying to make content that it's still helpful, but it's really fucking engaging, because a lot of people just won't click in the first place, or they'll just click away as soon as they click in. And then even if you get a high click-through rate and like a high view count of people staying, whatever, 30 to 60 seconds, a lot of people will click away because they're like, oh, this isn't hypey enough. There's another video of an orangutan driving a golf cart, so I'm going to go watch that instead, and I'm going to not learn about trading today. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know I'm not the only one out here who feels this way. It's one of those things. So again, I'm not bitching or complaining. I love what I do. It's a lot of fun. But I would just be, you know, I'd be lying if I didn't say there was some bullshit that didn't come with like anything in life. The same shit if you're an attorney or a doctor or, you know, whatever else you could do. There's shit that comes with everything. Another thing that I struggle with is fake accounts of me on social media. My God, there's so many fucking fake accounts. Like there was a fake Twitter account of me that was up for 3 years that we finally just got shut down today. And it took my legal team like emailing Twitter's legal team and telling them that we were going to take legal action if they didn't take down that account, if they didn't suspend that Twitter account. Because people were telling me, like, I get messages like all the time, like multiple messages per week at Instagram DMs, which I don't even check Instagram DMs anymore, to our support email, all my different social media platforms, of people saying that they've got scammed by me and like threatening me. Some people have threatened to kill me and my girlfriend and come to my fucking house and find out where I live and this and that. People have threatened to get take legal action, like thinking that I've scammed them, but what really it's a fucking fake account. And we could prove it because all we have to do is subpoena Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or whatever, or Twitter, fucking Twitter, and then tell them like, hey, give us your backlog data of this Twitter account, their IP address, everything, just to essentially prove it's not me. So we could prove it, but it's stupid that I have to deal with that, right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, when you've gotten death threats from people saying, you stole $2,000 from me, I sent you $2,000 in crypto because you told me that if I invest $2,000 with you, Nick, that you would pay me $20,000 within 7 days. But really, it's some fucking idiot who made a fake account of me, who took my pictures and then started a social media profile and then DM'd other people saying, hey, I'm Nick Sean and I'm on my second account, and like I have the investment thing where you can invest $2K and you'll make $20,000 guaranteed within 7 days. And then the person is fucking idiots. I mean, I feel bad insulting people's intelligence level. Like, I honestly do, but it's fucking frustrating. I feel bad for the person that they're not intelligent enough to think like, wow, I wonder if this is actually Nick. And if I send this person Bitcoin, I cannot get the Bitcoin back. Like, does this person actually Nick? Like, it just doesn't occur to some people that, oh, I might be getting fucking scammed right now. And again, I cannot insult people's intelligence levels because you don't choose whether or not you're intelligent enough to make those kind of like decisions. So I get it. I'm not being a dick here. I just feel for people because I'm like, damn, I feel very sorry for that type of person. I don't think you're a dumbass in a scornful way. I think you're a dumbass in a very empathetic, sympathetic way. Like, damn, that's very tough because now you've got scammed because it didn't occur to you that you could be getting scammed by a fake profile with bad English and bad grammar from somebody that's probably in a foreign country who created a fake account of me so they could scam some fucking people so that they could make money because maybe they're struggling so hardcore that they need to fucking scam people to make money, and that's one of the only ways they can make money, or in whatever country they're from. So look, I get it. The world's a fucked up place. It's not fair. The universe has no obligation to be fair to me. I'm just saying, when you've reported thousands of accounts over the year, I have my operations director, Stefan, it's the executive director of operations and executive chief information officer, which is Jiraj. They both manage shit like every fucking week. They're sending like takedown requests for fake accounts and everything. And it just gets to be a lot. Like, imagine dealing with it for years. Like, imagine dealing with this for like 4 or 5 years, where every fucking week you are getting emails and DMs from people saying, hey, Nick, there's a fake account of you. Hey, Nick, there's a fake account of you. Hey, Nick, there's a fake account of you. Hey, Nick, I messaged you on your other account and I sent you money via Bitcoin. Did you get it? Hey, Nick. Like, imagine, like, it would just get mind numbing after a while to the point where you just can't even look anymore. You're just like, wow, and you don't know what to do. And so you have, like, I spend all this money on having a team of employees, which I pay very fucking well, on having a legal team, on having a big insurance company with my company. It's like all this shit just to try to like keep my mental health, right, and keep my mental peace and prevent people that I don't even know from being scammed. It's a lot. So it's one of my bitching frustrations is all the fake accounts of me. There's so many, and it never ends. And there's no real way, unless social media companies change their policies, there's no real way for me to do anything about it. I mean, ask yourself, like, what would you do? Say you had like 1,000 fake accounts of you out in social media right now as we speak, on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. There was one person who created a fucking dating account of me on a Christian dating profile, and this chick named Christina, who was a lawyer who lives close to where I live, she was messaging a fake account of me with somebody who was chatting with them, pretending to be me, using my pictures. And then she messaged me and she was like, hey, I think I've been chatting with you on like this Christian dating app. I don't know what it's called, Christian Mingle or something. This happened like 2020. And so this chick, Christina, messaged me. She's like, yeah, but I don't think it's you. I think it might be a fake account because I've looked and like, it looks like you have a girlfriend and it looks like this is not your account or something. And like the English, like when they were talking to me, the grammar was bad and it was different and they didn't sound like they were from the United States. And I was like, yeah, it was probably a fake account. But she showed me like everything, and it was like a fake account on a dating app. What the fuck? Imagine the kind of shit that could do. Like, right? Like, if you're married and you have kids, I'm not married, I don't have kids, but I have a partner, Bonnie, who I've been with for years, and I don't know if we'll ever get married, but we're probably going to be together the rest of our lives. I don't see why we wouldn't. But like, imagine you've got a wife and kids, and then all of a sudden you have somebody saying, oh, I was messaging you on your dating account, and now I'm going to tell your wife that you were talking to me. And then you have to explain to your wife it was a fake account, and then your wife's all fucking wondering like, was it really a fake account, or was it actually him, or this and that? Imagine all the extra stress and frustration it brings. Like, right? I don't know, maybe some of you guys can relate. A lot of people think it's super easy dealing with all this stuff. It's not fucking easy, but it's worth it. I enjoy what I do and I love what I do, and I do believe that the pros vastly outweigh the cons. Having helped introduce, like I said, hundreds of thousands of people to trading and giving value to people who then some people didn't continue to pursue it and some people still are pursuing it. But having intimately helped tens of thousands of people in my Telegram channel, my free training, but thousands of people in my Mission FX products, it's been a beautiful journey and I love it and I'm very happy and I wouldn't change a damn thing except for the things that I've just covered in this video if I could. But again, the universe has no obligation to be fair to me or you or anyone, and I understand that, and I accept that, like, you know what, if I just got to deal with these few bullshit things, it's really not that big of a deal compared to how great of a life I have and how great of an impact I can make on the lives of others. So that's all the shit I could think of right now, just going off the cuff here. I'm just trying to share. The main things in this video is criticisms regardless of what you do. I could have a steady camera like right here, right? Like a stationary camera parked right there. Someone would say the lighting isn't good or the audio doesn't sound good or some people comment saying like, oh, the video is not in HD. It's in fucking 240 pixels or 360 pixels, but they haven't fucking waited for YouTube to process the video up to 4K. And then I get like 3 comments like that on every video at the beginning of every upload. And it's just like, ugh, God, fuck, man. And then people who are like saying like, oh, you got your camera on a slider and it's going back and forth. It's so unnecessary and stupid and distracting. And so like, remember, no matter what you do, people are going to bitch. That's the first thing, the criticisms. Again, I'm used to it. I've got thick skin now. The first 2 years, it kind of took me a bit to get past it. For the past 3-4 years, it's been whatever. I typically just don't even respond. And if someone says something really malicious, I will block them on my YouTube channel. I typically don't if it's just like a criticism or this and that. But a lot of people say some really dumbass things a small amount of the time because they're just being dicks. But the vast majority of the time, it's just because they're ignorant. They just don't know. And so they'll call something out and say like, you did that and that's da 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 da, but they don't have all the information to see like, oh wait, okay, knowing this and this makes sense. Oh shit, I made a mistake and I called Nick out for something he didn't even do. Oh wow, but then there's no apology, there's no nothing, and that comment stays there and everybody gets to see that. It's fucked up, right? So there's that. And the other thing is inconsistency. But with the context of knowing that nothing in life is black and white and there are no absolutes. Everything is dynamic and subjective and based on discretion and experience and intuition. So people will say, you said one thing but did another, and you said this thing but then flipped to this thing, this and that. And the 2 reasons I countered that were by saying life is incredibly complex and you will change your mind if you're becoming a better person over time. You're never going to keep the same exact mindset, same exact beliefs forever. If you continue to examine things, you'll learn new things you didn't know before, and those will cause you to justifiably change your beliefs. So you will flip-flop, and it's fucking okay. That's okay. And the second component to that is like your experience will play a role in helping you make decisions, and not every little damn thing is going to be 100% the same in every case. There is sometimes where price gets to a resistance level where I will not sell. That happened like 10 times this week on GBP JPY with the crazy uptrends that were occurring. There are so many times I could have sold that I was like, I think we're going to break this high. It's been in a hellish uptrend. And so this prevented me from a huge drawdown this week. Huge drawdown. Instead, I came out on a nice profit this week, and I'm in a small drawdown, locked in hedges on the rest positions that I'm going to roll out next week, and everything's going to be fine. I used my intuition and subjective discretion to help me avoid a bunch of losses based on my skill set. How great, right? Imagine if I had stuck black and white to a set of trading rules. Be in huge fucking drawdown this week. So that's that. And the last thing was all the fake accounts and all the shit that comes with it. And I think at some point in there, I talked about like my Tourette syndrome and my anxiety disorders. Y'all, it's fucking hard. I'm an incredibly sensitive person. I'm like 10 times more sensitive to shit than most people. Like I have a personality type called HSP. So it's called highly sensitive person or hypersensitive person. But it's where things that would normally not make other people uncomfortable or not make other people like wavery, for lack of a better term, it affects me more intense. Like the temperature of a room, the fucking lighting of a room, the place I'm sitting, the type of clothes I'm wearing, like it can make me uncomfortable very quick. Like having pants that are like too tight and not comfortable can literally make my whole day uncomfortable. Whereas for most people, they're not that way. Most people are like, oh no, I don't give a fuck, man. They're like numb and not very sensitive to all these things, and it doesn't really affect them that much mentally. My brain is an incredibly anxious brain, and I'm happy because it is attributed to a lot of success. I deeply, intimately care about the results that clients get at Mission FX because I'm anxiously obsessive about like, I want these clients to be happy. What are we doing as a company to make their experience better? How can we continue to consistently do these over time and put systems in place so that everyone has a good experience? How can we be more intimately engaged with our customers and help them better? A lot of people just don't even fucking think about these things. They're just like Signals group for Telegram channel, and there's not even a group chat, and you join and there's no customer support. People are like, how do I do this, or how do I set that up, or how do I cancel this and that? Zero response. With my company, it's not that way. I pay a hefty sum to my team. Pay 10% of top line revenue each to each of my employees. This cuts off, like literally, it kills so much of the profitability, though we still make an amazing profit. But then half of that's tax. So what the fuck, like, right? I keep pennies at the end. But it's like I pay my team very well, not only so they could support themselves and everybody's happy there, and then they pay taxes to their companies and everything, or to their countries. But having a team in place that you pay really well means you have a team of smart people managing a huge group of clients, which is another group of really smart people, and everything works better because you have a team to manage everything instead of me trying to be a one-man show and do everything, right? It takes a lot of stress off my shoulders to do that. Since I have an anxious brain and I give a shit about the results that people get, I do my best to see to it that everybody does as best as they can. And that's fucking hard. That's fucking hard for somebody who does not have a sensitive brain, who's like, oh, who gives a fuck if the course content isn't structured? Like, you know, they could just take the material and take what they will from it. But me, on the other hand, I obsessively try to structure it. I'll reanalyze what I'm doing. I'll get feedback from clients. I'll restructure things. I'll change it and optimize it and redo the content to make it better. I'll change around the chronological order of things to make it more intuitive. I'll do so much shit to try to just make sure that everything is simple enough for every client. And I listen to feedback from my customers, not to random people on the internet, but to my customers who have actually paid me. I listen to feedback and I do my best to make things better, provided that it's a decision that can work at scale, where it will serve most people in a positive way. And so it's just like, if I didn't have the type of obsessive, hypersensitive brain that I have, I probably wouldn't be that way. I probably wouldn't give a shit. I probably wouldn't have a good company. I may be good at trading, but I probably wouldn't have a great company with customers that are really, really happy most of the time. Of course, not everyone will be happy in any product, in any company, with any customer. But like, most people are really happy. Most people really enjoy our products at MFX. Why? Because we fucking give a shit about the results. Like, that's it. So anyway, like I said, this video was just me being candid, just me being open and sharing some things that I go through in my amazing, beautiful life. Just being candid with you guys and being real, because quite frankly, I didn't know what to make the next YouTube video about. This was on my mind this morning, and I just thought I'd share it just so that way y'all know. And a lot of people will, it'll be funny, a lot of people will still criticize me for this video and say, oh, you bitch about stupid shit, this and that. I don't know. If you were me and you had my body and you had my experiences and you had my brain, you would feel the same way. So we're all living an incredibly complex struggle. We all have shit in life we have to deal with. And I hope that whatever you're dealing with right now in life, whether it's personal life, whether it's health, whether it's a family member is going through some shit, whether it's trading, you're still trying to get profitable trading, whether you're going through shit at work, my vote for you is that you'll do as best you can to get through it. Life is really fucking short. All of us, myself and you all watching this video, we will all be dead 100 years from now, most likely. Maybe some of y'all will live to be 120, 130. Or maybe science will come in and we'll stay alive forever or some shit like that. But probably not. We're all probably going to be dead about 100 years from now. Life is short. Let's make it as best we can. I love you all, and I hope this video was interesting. And I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.